In this episode of Motorz, Chris shows you how to supercharge a Jeep Wrangler, and Alan test drives the new Cadillac ATS-V. So hold on tight, because Motorz starts now.
Hey, welcome to Motorz. Now in this episode I continue working on our 2014 Jeep Wrangler, adding a ProCharger Supercharger along with a few other accessories. Then Alan test drives the new Cadillac ATS-V at Willow Springs and checks out the Shell Ecomarathon in Motor City. Later on I check out the latest from Craftsman, Spyder's killer aftermarket lights for the Motorz F-150, and Axial Racing's latest RCs. Well, this episode is packed, so let's get started by adding some boost to our Jeep. In previous episodes of Motorz, we showed you how to install a ProCharger Supercharger in two Mustangs, a 2008 and a 2010. The process is very straightforward thanks to ProCharger's excellent installation guide, and as you would expect, the results are amazing. For a weekend DIY project, there's truly no easier and safer way to add this amount of horsepower and torque to your stock motor. With the success of the ProCharger Supercharger system on our Mustang project vehicles, we decided to install one on our 2014 Jeep Wrangler project as well and show you the step-by-step. As with all ProCharger kits, you get absolutely everything you need for the installation, including the P1SC1 blower, they call it a head unit, filters, wiring, intercooler, tubing, hoses, oil, tuner, bypass valve, and everything else. And best of all, this is a bolt-on installation that requires no cutting at all. By the way, we had the intercooler powder-coated red shortly after we took delivery. This is not an option from ProCharger. So what does this incredibly awesome-looking head unit do to our Pentastar V6 engine? Well, ProCharger's 7 pounds of boost increases power by 50% over stock. The first step is to detach the negative battery terminal using an 8mm socket, then use that same socket to loosen the hose clamps from the stock air intake kit. Finally, a 10mm socket to detach the inlet tube from the cooling fan. Unplug the intake air temperature sensor from the tube by turning it clockwise and pulling it out. You need to save this for later. Then remove the tube and the PCV hose from the box to remove the box from the Jeep. Next, insert a 1/2-inch breaker bar into the square slot on the tensioner, pushing it to the driver's side. This will allow you to easily remove the belt from the power steering pulley. Now we'll be relocating the alternators, so remove it by unplugging the wiring using a 13mm socket, then use that same socket to remove the 2 lower bolts and a 15mm socket to remove the 2 upper bolts. Then the alternator can be removed. A 16mm socket is then used to remove the upper alternator bracket bolt, followed by a 13mm to remove the lower bolt. Then the bracket and factory belt can finally be removed. Remove the coolant overflow reservoir by removing the plastic push pin and pulling up, then remove the front grille. Disconnect the vacuum and PCV lines from behind the throttle body, then disconnect the map sensor and throttle body connectors. Then use a 10mm socket to remove the screws holding the bracket and heater hard lines to the intake manifold. And use that 10mm socket to remove the manifold bracket nuts. Disconnect the vacuum lines from the manifold, then use an 8mm socket to remove the 7 bolts and remove the manifold, causing no danger to the manifold. Yes, that was an intentional reference to Fast and Furious. Now cover up those holes with some tape or rags to prevent debris from falling into them, then remove the foam pad from the driver's side valve cover. Unplug all of the injector and coil connectors, then use a 10mm socket to remove the coil bolts. Once done, you can remove all the coils. You can remove the fuel rails by using a T30 Torx bit. Be sure to have some rags handy to soak up all that spilled fuel. Now, as you can see, the new fuel injectors on the left allow for quite a bit more flow than your stock ones. Install the new fuel injectors and spark plugs, make sure you use some anti-seize for those, and gap them to 35 thousandths of an inch, then reinstall the fuel rails. Next up is replacing the transmission cooler. Start by removing the 2 plastic push pins on each side of the radiator, followed by using an 8 and 10mm sockets to remove the bolts that connect the lines to the cooler. Now be sure to have a few rags handy to soak up all the fluid that leaks on out. locate the line connections on the driver's side. They're held together by a metal clip. Slide that cover back and remove this metal clip in order to pull the lines apart and connect the new lines using the supplied hose clamps. Set the new transmission cooler in front of the condenser using the supplied fasteners. Then all you need to do is cut the rubber hose for proper fitment and secure with the supplied hose clamps. Now back to the relocation of our alternator. Use that 10mm socket to remove the timing cover bolts. Set the supplied bracket in place and tighten. Insert the supplied 10mm bolts and washers through the alternator and tighten in place with a 17mm socket. We installed our intercooler next using the supplied brackets, rubber molded hoses, and their number 40 hose clamps. Just be sure to keep everything fairly loose until all the hoses are in place. Now don't go anywhere, because when we come back from our break, we've got more of our ProCharger Supercharger installation and a whole lot more motors.
It just never ends with you. I feel like if it's not one thing, it's another. Well, that ends today.
The Craftsman C3 line. One battery, more than 30 tools, and the power to tackle any job that stands in your way.
You're welcome.
The C3 line from Craftsman. Get the new, more powerful XCP battery. Now runs up to 4 times longer. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Now for the main bracket assembly, we used a 13mm socket to remove the idler pulley, then used a 17mm socket to install the supplied 60mm bolt for the upper alternator bracket hole, followed by a 13mm socket for the lower bracket hole. After installing the oil drain line, we mounted the head unit onto the main bracket, filled it with the supplied oil, and then routed the new belt using that same half-inch breaker bar we used earlier to remove the old belt. Now with all the main ProCharger components installed, it's time for all the plumbing for the air. This includes the bypass valve, tubes, reinstallation of the IAT sensor, and the electrical connections. This part does take a little bit of time because of the tight engine bay, but ProCharger's engineers did a great job designing them to fit and look great. Now finally, program your vehicle with your new ProCharger tune using the supplied Diablo tuner and fire it up for the first time. With such an incredible new ProCharger Supercharger installed, I just had to top it off with something equally incredible. So I sent our engine cover over to my buddy Jacob Miles at Milestone Paint and Body in Tennessee for a complete makeover to match our Jeep. Check out his website at milestonepaint.com. And while we were at it, we also picked up some engine caps from Drake Off-Road and had them painted to match. Their billet aluminum caps are complete replacement caps and fit right over your existing ones, giving your engine a complete custom look. For more information, visit drakeoffroad.com. Now, while we were in the engine bay installing the new Supercharger, we decided to also give our entire system more power with a pair of Odyssey batteries using the Genesis Off-Road dual battery solution for the Jeep Wrangler. This kit comes completely wired out of the box, includes a G-screen monitoring system and boost switch to start your Jeep off to the second battery should the first go bad. Outside of trimming 2 of the factory bolts with a Dremel cutoff wheel, the installation was easy, and it even included a fuse box relocation mount. For more information on the Odyssey Extreme Series that we use for our dual battery setup, just head on over to odysseybattery.com. And of course, for more information on our dual battery kit that we got from Genesis Off-Road, hit up genesisoffroad.com. Well, if you've got the need for speed, then you can always depend on Alan Taylor to take you for a thrill ride. Now this time he's at the Willow Springs International Raceway testing out the 2016 Cadillac ATS-V. So Alan, hit the track and let's see what you got, buddy.
Well, there it goes. It's the Cadillac ATS-V, 464 horsepower, 454 pound-feet of torque. We're at Willow Springs Raceway. We're going to take it for a ride. Let's go. Here we go. Immediately off the line, you know there's something special about the performance of this new Cadillac ATS-V. At the heart of this beast is Cadillac's upgraded twin-turbo 3.6-liter V6 engine. If you're going to be on a racetrack, you might as well drive like a race car driver, right? With new turbos and wastegates providing even more boost than ever, making 464 horsepower from this newly revised engine. Managing all that power is GM's own 8-speed automatic transmission, or the available 6-speed that I chose, with the no-lift shift feature, as well as automatic rev matching capability. It was fun to drive. Both transmissions send the power rearward to an electronic limited slip differential. With launch control, you can expect 0 to 60 time of about 3.8 seconds, with a top speed, get this, 189 miles per hour. It also has huge Brembo brakes on all 4 corners.
We're with Cadillac here at Willow Springs. It's a raceway that was built in 1953. It's 2.5 miles long, 9 corners, which offers a lot of speed. We're going to challenge the top end, how fast the vehicle goes. We're going to challenge the brake pedal because we're going to be going so fast into the corners. From turn 1, we're going to climb up toward that mountain in the background. Turns 3, 4, 5, going to challenge us as it goes left, right, and then starts to descend into the carousel. The car is really going to have a well-balanced setup so it performs at its optimum ability.
The ATS-V is fairly subtle when it comes to the appearance. No one but fellow car enthusiasts or your insurance company will hardly know that you're driving a V. That is, of course, unless they hear that exhaust note. Inside it has high-back Recaro bucket seats wrapped in leather. One really cool option is the performance data recorder. There's a small forward-facing camera that saves video and in-car audio to an SD card. It can record your driving skills and overlay info such as throttle position, brake force, and steering inputs. Or it can spy on the valet. The Cadillac ATS-V is an awesome car, and it's extremely fun to drive on the racetrack, and it's as smooth as silk on long-distance road trips. However, if you want a new Cadillac ATS-V, the price is comparable to its European competitors, like the BMW M3 or the Mercedes C63 AMG. Get ready, because these premium performance machines all come in right around $65K large. Whew! That is a sledgehammer, and that is a whole lot of fun.
If it's your car, why not make it your interior? Transform the look, feel, and quality of your interior with Catskin Leather, the world leader in custom automotive interiors. Visit catskin.com today to find out how easy and affordable it is to get a Catskin premium leather interior for your vehicle. Catskin. Express. Transform. Drive.
Much better. Now, in an ever-increasing trend, vehicles are designed to be more and more fuel and energy efficient, unlike our Chevy small block here. Now, Alan was in Detroit to check out the Shell Ecomarathon, which challenges student teams from around the world to design, build, test, and drive ultra-efficient energy vehicles. So take it away, Alan.
Today I'm here in Motor City at the Cobo Center for the 2015 Shell Ecomarathon. Madison Woolley, what are you doing here?
Well, right now we're in the starting queue, and I've been running my engine recently to get it a little bit warmed up for competition. I have the easy job.
Yeah, you're laying down on the job.
Pretty much.
So how many miles per gallon will this contraption get, you think?
Well, right now we're getting 230 miles per gallon in this car.
All right, well, we wish you best of luck. What if your idea could change the world? That's what Shell is asking teams here at the 2015 Shell Ecomarathon. And there are hundreds of teams here to compete from high schools and universities across the Americas.
With the Shell Ecomarathon, we are trying to inspire the engineers and scientists of the future to come up with ideas that will define our mobility. That means how are our cars going to look like, what fuels are driving it. And they are not constrained yet by the problems and by the issues that we are all seeing with mobility. They can think, especially in the prototype category, about blue sky ideas. What can drive fuel economy up and fuel consumption down?
So Chris, I'm here with Vivian Vasquez from El Paso, Texas. So what do you got here? Tell me about it.
Well, this is a Ecominer's car from UTEP, and we are getting ready to run for the first time.
Matthew Walton here is going to be driving this contraption. Matthew, tell us about your car.
So this is a battery electric car. So far we've had 2 successful runs, and we're hoping to do better in this next round.
But there's a lot more to this event than just the marathon. Locals came out in droves this year to experience Shell's exhibits and learn more about the future of energy efficiency. Those 21 and older could even go up on the rooftop of the Cobo Center to test drive the latest electric and hybrid vehicles. So we're here with James Gingell. He's the guy running the rooftop smart driving experience. What are you guys doing here?
So we have several vehicles from manufacturers, which are currently production vehicles. We have some subject matter experts in the vehicles who can tell them a little bit about the range, equivalent fuel economy, that kind of thing.
Seems like people probably just have this like wow factor when they drive these for the first time, right?
Yeah, but they're just blown away that a battery car can drive and feel just like a normal vehicle. I think it's a big surprise.
All right, well, let's go take a test drive now. Come on. As an auto journalist, I'm familiar with this technology, but I think this test drive experience is a real eye-opener for those who get a chance to get behind the wheel. There's nothing better than experiencing it for yourself. So I'm here with Danzel Green from Granite Falls, Washington?
Yes.
Shop Girls, you're the only all-girl team here at the Shell Ecomarathon?
Yes, this year we're the only all-girl team. We were the first all-girl team in all of the Shell Ecomarathon.
So how did you get into this?
Well, the team started 6 years ago through a grant with women in non-traditional roles.
So how many miles per gallon do you think you're going to get out of this machine?
Yesterday we got 592. We're hoping to get over 600 today.
Wow. And how many miles to the gallon do you think you might get?
Hopefully more like 1,000, 100. That's what we're aiming for.
While the Shell Ecomarathon requires a lot of work, one thing is clear, these kids are definitely having a lot of fun. And you know what? I had a ton of fun at the Shell Ecomarathon myself. Well, that's about it from the Shell Ecomarathon here in Motor City, Chris. And I got to tell you, eye-opening experience. High school kids, college kids, all working with Shell to talk about what is going to be the future. These guys are making it happen. Right here from Motor City, I'm going back to you.
Parts. Brought to you by Craftsman.
Hey, are you tired of losing grip of your bolts and other fasteners when using an adjustable wrench? Well, so are the crafty engineers at Craftsman, introducing the Extreme Grip 10-inch adjustable wrench. This new innovative tool combines 2 tools into one, an adjustable wrench and locking pliers, creating a single tool that you'll wish you've always had. This innovative design offers a better grip when working with fasteners, making loosening and tightening much faster and easier. It includes a locking mechanism that provides maximum gripping force in working with fasteners, doubling the amount of grip force over your standard adjustable wrench. The jaws are able to open up to 1 inch, allowing you to grip both inch and metric sized items, and this lever provides quick and easy release of that Herculean grip strength. All of that power comes wrapped in a dual material handle, providing a comfortable and sure grip. As always, this wrench is backed by that awesome Craftsman lifetime warranty. This is my favorite new Craftsman tool, and hopefully it'll be yours too. Check it out at craftsman.com. Big boys like their toys too, and what I've got here on my workbench is sure to please the kid in you. Axial Racing is a leader in high-performance RC cars and parts, allowing you to be limited only by your imagination with their huge line of RCs, plus their abundance of high-quality parts. This huge 1/8 scale Yeti XL monster buggy can take as much punishment as you can throw at it. Axial really pushed the boundaries of possibilities when developing this beast. Thanks to an industry-first solid rear axle suspension coupled with an independent front, no terrain is too tough. The massive 2200 kV brushless motor serves as its power plant, so you can rip through all types of terrain, and the beefy suspension handles uneven terrain with ease at full throttle. The SCX-10 Jeep Wrangler Falcon Edition is an accurate 1/10th scale model of a Jeep Wrangler. It features that unmistakable dovetail body sitting on top of specially developed Falcon tires. This Jeep is just as capable as the real thing, with functional rock sliders and a low-mounted drivetrain that gives you the confidence to tackle even the toughest of obstacles. For another SCX-10, the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon RTR, Axial hand-built a 1:1 scale replica and then shrunk it down to a 1/10th scale to maintain accuracy down to the smallest detail. With its adjustable coilover shocks and the ability to choose from a wide range of gear ratios, this SCX-10 can go from competition crawling to flying across flat terrain like a bolt of lightning. The Jeep Wrangler Wraith Poison Spyder Edition RTR is a 1/10 size replica of the Poison Spyder custom rock racing Jeep. Axial once again worked its magic and incorporated a realistic tube frame composite chassis. This maintains strength for the toughest of rock crawls while still allowing it to blast across flat terrain even at full throttle. Axial's lineup of intricately detailed and high-tech designs are a blast to drive and are sure to get you exploring the outdoors to push them to the limit. Inspire the kid in you by checking out their complete line of RCs at axialracing.com. Spyder Auto offers OEM replacement and upgraded lights for your vehicle that offer a better look and better features to help customize your ride. LED and projector headlights not only improve the look of your vehicle, but also the visibility range too. Their LED taillights are also quick and easy upgrades to the performance and style of your F-150 and come in several styles to match your ride. Spyder guarantees both sets of lights for OEM fitment so you can avoid frustration and having to break out the zip ties. The projector headlights take less than 30 minutes to install. Because of the new LED headlights, there is some additional wiring that is needed. A few Craftsman hand tools and a little bit of time make the install a breeze. The LED taillights install just as easily as the headlights. Gently slide out your old taillight, disconnect all the connections, and then replace with the new ones. A Spyder Auto offers replacement headlights, taillights, and more for your vehicle, giving it a modern upgrade with increased performance and style. For more information and to see what they have available for your ride, just head on over to SpyderAuto.com.
E3 Diamond Fire spark plugs are the most powerful spark plugs you can buy. They deliver a more complete fuel burn, more power, better economy, and reduced emissions. E3 Diamond Fire spark plugs at auto parts and lawn and garden stores everywhere.
Well, now that we've got this blower installed, I'm going to take it out for a quick spin. I'd like to thank ProCharger, Milestone Paint and Body, Genesis Off-Road, and Drake Off-Road for making this episode possible. Now, for more information on all those products and to check out all the cool tools we use to install them, check out our website. I'll catch you next time on Motorz. Al and I head out to Indianapolis for the historic running of 100th running.
So what's for lunch? Seriously?
Blow-off valve. What does it do, Brian? Thank you.
I am Tiger! That'll be an outtake.
Put on your belt and fill it up with oil. Have a good day.
120 that time. Come on now, baby. Come on, come on.
Are they gonna arrest you?
No.